Well, hi everyone. It's a wonderful morning today. And as I promised last week that we'll have a second discussion on rates, real estate investment trusts. And basically, I will not disappoint. So we are supposed to basically look into restrictions on investment amounts. But before we get into that, let's talk about regulation of rates. Rates are primarily regulated by the CMA, the Capital Markets Authority. And other minute forms of regulation come in the form of the property portfolio being managed by the property manager and the interests of unit holders being taken care of by the trustee. Now, can a rate borrow money in its own name? Definitely, yes. The law allows you to borrow money as long as the borrowed amount does not exceed 35% of the net value of the assets in case of an I right and 60% in the case of a D right. So what about conversion? Can a rate convert from an D right to an I right? Definitely yes. The law allows for conversion from a D right to an I right. So what about the promoters of a rate scheme? Well, an individual can become a promoter in their individual capacity, but oftentimes it's more often than not advised that you incorporate a special purpose vehicle for this kind of things. So now let's talk about any form of restrictions on the amount that can be invested in a scheme. Investment amounts restrictions under the Act. So basically, investment amounts restricted are up to 5 million Kenya shillings. This therefore means that, this is basically to say that a restricted offer under a rate scheme should have a peak or at least a minimum of 5 million worth of subscription price. So another form of restriction in terms of amount is the fact that for I rights, the net asset value should be at least 300 million in the case of I rights, and in the case of D rights, at least 100 million. So that's your 200 million difference right there in terms of net asset value requirement and investment amount requirement. So finally, let's talk about termination of rate schemes. How can a rate scheme be terminated? There are only two bodies that have the authority to terminate a rate scheme. That's the Court of Law, and through the winding up process, and the Capital Markets Authority, either on their own motion or upon the application of a trustee. Well, rates can also be terminated by expiry of the term of the trust. So just one thing to go with is the fact that when it comes to rates, questions are often asked, do I have to publicly trade my units if I have listed them? Well, actually, yes. Once you list your units, you have to publicly trade. Once listed, you have to publicly trade them. In fact, the law provides that at least 25% of persons that hold units in a rate scheme should not be persons who are associated with the promoters. Well, once again, rates are the future of capital markets, and get into D rights, get into I rights, promoters, developers, this is the way to go. And now, having known almost everything about rates, I hope you've learned something today. And tune in, you've been watching The Future, and I'm Pauline Ken.